Uh, no, I mean, we pretty much had, an idea. Uh, my plan was to be here, um, and because it's just you can't get into that game because you don't know, and so coming out of spring, just gave all my energy to this team and trying to learn Coach Hamilton's offense, and then sorry about that, and then get ready to go. So, uh, like I said before, if when those things happen, they happen, and then you move on, and now you're on that team. But I didn't want it to change. I didn't anticipate it changing, and so my mind was to be present and on this team, and so for just this reason, because the only way, the adverse effect is if you're thinking you're leaving, and now you're the week 2 starter, and you're not ready to go. So for me, it was just to be present, be in the moment, day to day, and so that we prepare for a moment like this.
Does much change with you, for the team, I guess, with you as the quarterback offensively? Does anything change, or is, there are just similarities, whether it was you or RG3 out there?
No, obviously we have different skill sets, but I think the way it's really on the play caller, and it's the way Coach Jackson sees the game, and so for us, it's learning the game plan and then going out and executing it. And my plan is to go execute it at a high level, and that's the mindset, and that's Robert's mindset going into last week, and that's where we go as a quarterback room. And so whoever's up, you play. But for me, my mindset is go execute and play at a high level. And so we got the game plan yesterday, start internalizing it right now, and go out and have a good day of practice.
Josh, do you anticipate having to push along the psyches of so many young players on this team as you lead them offensively?
Absolutely. I mean, we just getting them to continue to believe in what we're doing, and to believe that they can make plays at this level. And Corey had some ups and downs the other day, but had a big catch for us, adjusted to a long ball and had a big catch for us. So absolutely. But those guys, they're all over it. Coach Saunders, especially with the young receivers, is doing a great job with them, and so they'll be ready to go. And it's just about continuing to carry the energy and the belief that we want to be a high-level offense. We want to play at a high level, and so you have to behave that way and think in that mindset even before that happens. And so it's just everybody on the same page and thinking that way, that this is what we're going to do. We're going to go out and execute at a high level, and it's a standard that we hold ourselves in the walkthroughs, in the practice, and then ultimately on Sunday.
Josh, Jimmy Haslam said today on the radiothon that he called RG3 Monday and then he called you. What was the message like?
Well, I don't want to get into that conversation because he has a lot of swing here, and but just suffice to say, it was just encouraging. So and just it's what makes him special as an owner, is that he cares about his guys, and for him to call Rob, obviously going through a tough time, and then to call me and encourage me, so it was good.
He also said you were hanging out with Josh Gordon and Terrell Pryor when he called you. Do you guys hang out a lot, or how did that come about?
Well, I mean, if when the invite's there, I'll go hang. So it's good to be around those guys. It keeps me young, and we're just enjoying watching football together and talking ball and talking life. So it was good.
When you were on the youngest team in the league you are now, when do you feel like the old guy?
Well, I've been feeling like the old guy for the past 5 years. That's what's fun, is the energy's good, and there are a few guys here who are behind. They're not far behind, but they're behind me, and so I'll make sure I eat with Joe Thomas and those guys every now and then. But it's part of this business, and I think it's the cool thing about this business is that you have varying ages, and but you go out and you all play the same game, and so for me, I enjoy it because it gives me a chance to go out and play the same game that I played when I was 21, 22, 23, and so I don't take that lightly. That's an honor and a privilege to be able to continue to do this at this age. So I'm thankful for that, and look forward to playing Sunday.
Josh, in what ways are you a different quarterback than you were a year ago?
What ways am I different? I think every year you're improving, and whether it's on different things that you set out through during the off season to improve on. I think every quarterback's always chasing accuracy and timing, and then just for us, when you learn a new system, it starts there. It's just mastering the system and learning the system. So it's and I've had plenty of opportunities to learn new offenses, and so it's, for me, I think the challenge is how fast can I get to where I feel good, really good in this offense, and so it's different study habits and different things. So that's probably, I think, for me, I continue to tweak my process to allow me to learn better and to internalize this offense better, because you get better every week in a new offense, and because you learn it better. But for us, we've said it before, like, this is the AFC North, and there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this league and a lot of good offenses. So the learning curve, we got to speed it up and go fast. So it's what can I do in my process to help speed that up and feel like I'm playing at an even higher level by learning it better.
Last year, you rewrote the franchise record books against the Ravens in Baltimore. What do you remember about that game, and should we expect a repeat performance?
Well, I remember out that game that we won the game, that we certainly needed to win. We won the game. That was number one. And number two, it was just where the game took us, and we were able to throw the ball. And so 450-yard passing games are rare. So I don't know if you necessarily expect a repeat performance, but if the game takes us there, we certainly want to be able to deliver that. And so that's my mindset.
Can you talk about Cam Irving and what can you guys do together this week to kind of work on the snap thing, and then also what can you do to help with even in game to kind of stay calm and handle this?
Yeah, I think for Cam, it's the working in practice, and obviously we'll get extra time at snaps and stuff like that. But like I said the other day, those are things that sometimes come out when you're on the road or in an environment, and it's hard to recreate that at practice. But you can get enough repetitions to help yourself and give yourself a better chance for that not to happen. And so we'll certainly do those things. But I have full confidence in Cam that he's moving on from that, and that's not something that we expect to happen again.
On the other side of the coin, Josh, what comes back to mind when you think about that second Ravens game where you break the collarbone and then you wind up being done for the year?
For us, first thing that comes back to mind is just the heartbreaking way to lose. Wanted to win the football game, and Austin comes in, does a great job of getting us in position, and we have a chance, and so we don't finish with the field goal. So that's the first thing for me is we didn't finish the game, we didn't win, and then obviously it's heartbreaking when you get hurt and you finish your season, and so that was it's frustrating, but it's part of it, and so looking forward to coming back against these guys. Like we said before, it's a familiar opponent for me, and I'm looking forward to competing against them.
That frustration level kind of carry you throughout the offseason at all? The fact that just when you're starting to get going, the season gets cut short?
I mean, yeah, you want to play. We're talking about my age. Like I said, these are for me precious opportunities, and so I don't take them lightly, and so the opportunity to get out there, certainly when that's taken away, it eats at you, and so throughout the off season, it's always in the back of your mind of like the next opportunity, man. You got to make the most of it because you don't know, and so that's my plan, this time around.
Can you talk about the Ravens defense? Terrell being back and watching the film by now, it really seems like they've got it cranked back up.
Yeah, they're obviously had a good game this weekend against Buffalo, and they're flying around and they're doing a good job with their defense, and they got good players, good leadership over there, and so it'll be on us to take this game plan and master it in these next 3 or 4 days, and then go out and execute against them.
Josh, you and Gary.
Can we get one more?
Sorry. You and Gary had a pretty good chemistry last year, with so many young receivers you're working with, maybe guys you haven't played with before, and him coming off a little bit of a rough week. How do you think that's going to help both these guys?
Well, that's a one-time thing for Gary. We expect Gary to be back playing at a high level, and I think regardless, we knew Gary was going to bounce back, and so I'm looking forward to getting out there with him and us executing our offense at a high level. We were able to establish a rhythm last year, and So our mindset is just to draw on that and to utilize that to help us and help this offense play at a high level.